Chapter 5. On the Lam. With jailbreak on the gossip menu, the cafe hopped from the minute Miss Anna and me opened the door. The azalea women sailed in, pushing Harm aside to grab the ringside seats. Then Capers tripped in, rosy with excitement. "What a day," she said, dumping her things onto the table. Notebook, pen, tape recorder, faded American Heritage Dictionary, 2nd edition, same as mine. Not that I'm lame enough to haul it around. "Great story." "Like living with a spy, isn't it?" Harm muttered to me as he watched her. "A good-looking spy, but still." "Everybody pipe down," I shouted, grabbing a tray of waters as Miss Rose's ancient orange pinto sputtered up. Miss Rose, Dale, and Queen Elizabeth tumbled out, and Lavender pulled away in a cloud of black exhaust. "The pintos developed a death rattle," Miss Rose said, swaying across the room to give Miss Lana a quick hug. "That's terrible for your deliveries, Rose," an azalea woman said, faking a pout. With her farm tours quiet until spring, Miss Rose makes her money on collards and sweet potatoes she delivers in the pinto. Lavender's taking it to his garage. He'll have it revived in no time. Fear shot darts through my belly. He's alone with Mr. Macon on the run? The azalea women perked up. Miss Rose smoothed my hair. "If you loved Lavender any more, I'd believe you'd explode," she said. "Lavender's not alone, Mo. Sam's meeting him there." She spoke louder for the azalea women. "He's fine." Sam is Lavender's fellow mechanic. He'd walk through fire for Lavender. So would Dale and me. Miss Lana handed Miss Rose our house keys. "Why don't you rest while Lavender works?" she whispered. "Unless you want to field every question in town." "Go on, Mama. I'll help Mo until the Colonel is back," Dale told her. The two women, one glamorous as old Hollywood, the other level-headed as twilight, linked arms and strolled to the kitchen door. It's funny how people so different can share the same heartbeat, I thought. "My homework's on my desk," I called. "Dividing fractions may help distract you from the disaster which is today. Please help yourself." Miss Rose laughed, and the kitchen door swiped closed behind her. Miss Lana put on her apron. "Being a best friend is a calling and an honor," she told me, watching Dale settle Queen Elizabeth by the jukebox. "Always remember that, sugar." And she grabbed an order pad and went to work. Dale and me whirled through the crowd like dervishes, while Miss Lana and Harm plundered the freezer and cooked. People flowed in and out, rumors trailing along. Mr. Macon's surrounded. He's been gunned down. He's made it to Raleigh. He's called from Charlotte. He's holed up drunk. As usual, someone added. "Don't bother arguing," Dale said, doling out iced teas. "It only makes it worse." At 4 o'clock, Lavender cruised up in the pinto and sauntered in. "Dale, ready to go?" he asked. "Mama wants to run a few errands before she heads home." Dale shook his head. "No, I'll help until the Colonel gets back. That's fair." Our teacher, Miss Retzel, strolled in as Lavender strolled out. I darted over to Jake and Jimmy Exum, who were drinking ice water and sucking our jelly packets dry. The Colonel hates water-only customers. "The Colonel's coming," I said, and they bolted. "A table has just opened up," I called, waving Miss Retzel over. Miss Retzel's smart and pretty. She excels at A average. Average clothes, average hair, average car. Average is exotic in my life, and I adore her. "Welcome," I said. "Our specials include Miss Lana's world-renowned leg of lamb, LAM, our famous bust-out broccoli casserole, and veggies at large. Each dish is recycled and fresh named to reflect current events. What can I start you with?" "Tea and lamb, please," Miss Retzel said, "with double veggies." Capers beamed her a smile. "Low carb. Dieting? Me too." Did she just call Miss Retzel fat? Miss Retzel studied Capers, serene as a cucumber. I stepped in. "Miss Retzel, you remember Capers. Capers, Priscilla Retzel is Joe Starr's fiancée and the teacher of me, Harm, and Dale, plus others. Sal smiled from the next table. Jimmy and Jake looked up from a hot dog they'd just conned Fess out of. Capers did a double take. You teach these kids? I'm not the only one lucky to be alive. Ms. Retzel laughed and Capers strolled to her table. I'd love some background on the town, she said, and Miss Retzel gave her a smile. As the day spun by, the gossip wore Dale down to a nub. Miss Lana stopped to tousle his hair as another stranger speculated on Mr. Macon's whereabouts. Ignore them, she told Dale. This is a tempest in a teapot. It won't last. Finally, Joe Starr's Impala cruised into the lot. The Colonel hopped out, and a sliver of undercover worry melted from my heart. Thank heavens, Miss Lana murmured as the Colonel pushed open the door. Dale, Chrissy shouted from her table. I hear Macon's wanted dead or alive. Dale closed his eyes. Dead or alive? I knew it, an Azalea woman cried. Is there a reward? The Colonel's shiny military boots clacked across the tile. There is no dead or alive. There is no reward, he said. He smiled at Miss Retzel. Joe asked me to let you know he'll see you tomorrow. An all-nighter. So, once again, Detective Joe Starr is clueless. The Colonel grabbed his chef's apron and whipped it around his thin body. Sorry, son, he told Dale. No sign of Macon yet. I'll give you a ride home when you're ready. He clapped his shoulder. Thanks for holding things together here. Dale stood a little taller. Miss Rose is in Mexico with Macon, a voice barked. Who said that? I snapped. You can't talk about Miss Rose. Stand up. I never went eye to eye with so much stupid before. The Exum voice ducked. Dale scowled. The rumor mumbling has got to stop. You mean rumor mongering, Harm said. I like the idea of the word, not the sound of it, Dale said, his voice rising. The Colonel put his hand on his shoulder. They'll stop talking about Macon when they find something better to talk about, he said, his voice low. Hang in there, son. I'll do something stupid before long. He headed for the kitchen as Queen Elizabeth snagged a bit of hot dog beneath Thess's table. Liz, Dale cried. No junk food. Spit it out. I gasped. I'd never heard Dale snap at Queen Elizabeth. She gave Dale a hurt look and spit the treat by Jake's foot. Dale needs help, Harm whispered. He's unraveling. True. It could be hours before the Colonel did something gossip-worthy. We needed a diversion now. Dale, I said, make your top-secret announcement. Brilliant, Harm said, and headed for the milkshake machine. Now, Dale said, but I want extra credit. For Dale, extra credit is a lifeline on an unfriendly academic sea. Harm and me float like sea otters. Your daddy's an escaped felon with the law on his trail. Miss Retzel probably feels sorry for you. It doesn't get better than this, I said. Plus, you'll get people talking about something beside Mr. Macon and Miss Rose. Right, Dale said. Let's roll. I stepped onto the Pepsi crate I keep behind the counter for extra height, and I raised my hands to silence the crowd. Miss Lana whirled by. On the stage, sugar. Project. Miss Lana knows stagecraft like Lavender knows tire rotation. I willed my personal chi across the room. Attention, everyone, and especially Miss Retzel. Dale has an extra credit announcement. An Azalean woman's voice sliced the babble. Hush! Dale's convinced of his daddy to surrender. I ain't seen Daddy, and I ain't telegraphic, Dale said, taking my place on the Pepsi crate. He means telepathic, I said. Harm drum-rolled his fingers on the counter. A nice touch. He stopped, and a tsunami of silence rocked the cafe. I want you to be the first to know, Dale said. Queen Elizabeth is great with child. Capers dropped her pen. What? Attila scooted her chair close. You're thinking of Queen Elizabeth of the United Kingdom, Dale means Queen Elizabeth II, the dog. Puppies? Sal cried, spilling ketchup on her Sudoku book. Can I have one? Dale offered her a shy smile. Lavender says the puppies will arrive around Thanksgiving, and Lavender knows things. I stepped up beside Dale. Dale's drawing up the adoption applications. Information will trickle down from 6th grade. We'll need references plus pet photos. Thess raised his hand. I never photographed my cat, Spitz. You're good with the camera, Mo. Do you do pet portraits? Pet portraits make me wretch, but thank you for asking. I have $10, he added. I can work with you in tomorrow, I replied. Dale was counting on Thess taking a puppy. Thess, who's the preacher's kid, would be good with a dog. Plus, Dale could see the puppy at church every Sunday. Attila raised her hand. Who's the daddy? She asked. Or is this one of those family mysteries so dear to your heart, Mo? Attila's face would be pretty if she didn't live behind it. Thanks for asking, Metalmouth, I replied. The puppy's father prefers to remain anonymous. Dale? The colonel grinned and swiped at the counter. He likes me to think on my feet, and he can't stand Attila Celeste either. I plucked my camera from beneath the counter and lined up a photo for Dale's scrapbook if he ever gets one. Capers raised her hand. Dale pointed. Motorcycle woman with crooked nose? Click. Speaking of fathers, Capers said, any idea where yours is? Don't answer that, the colonel said, his voice like a hammer. Sorry, she muttered, and glanced into Miss Retzel's eyes, which had gone laser quality. Miss Retzel's secretly protective of Dale and me when we're in public, though in the classroom it's pretty much open season on both of us. Or maybe it just feels that way. The phone rang, breaking the silence. Cafe, Lana speaking. What? She turned her back, whispered, and hung up. She snapped into ad-lib mode, clear as the colonel, snapping to attention. Take out for Rose, she sang. Colonel, will you deliver? My stomach dropped. We don't deliver. And Miss Rose doesn't order takeout. We'll go, Miss Lana, I said. We'll ride our bikes. She plunged a special into a takeout bag. Colonel, do you mind? Now, she asked. She scrawled across her order pad and handed it to him. 10-4, my dear. He turned it toward me. Break in at Rose's. Hurry. And that is the end of chapter 5.